smiling so much because, Lorraine, this is normally not how this Monday night goes. But
I get you're here.
We really do dig in and go through things. And it's kind of funny because I'm like, boy, Janai got on fire the last couple of weeks. And I love to see that spark, because what happens is that's what happens when you start digging into things and the aha moments start coming and you start implementing them into your life. So I'm super excited to see that in her. So that's why I'm smiling so much. And thank you so much for saying so many nice things about me. I will tell you, Lorraine, I come from like the credit world. I owned my own credit repair company for 14 years. And so I was that person and the go-to whenever someone had a problem and wanted to buy a house and they couldn't. I was the one solving problems for them. I would help them figure out how to get their credit increased so that they could get into a home. And I got so good at that an investor actually hired me to work in his office and just for his clients. That kept my business afloat, that I didn't have to go out and look for any other work for any other clients because he kept me so busy.
Nice.
Yeah, that it is nice. But people that have credit issues, they don't always pay their bills on time. So it was great. I have such a passion for that still because, I was able to take people and help them become homeowners. But I didn't have a clue how to invest in real estate. And I would tell a lot of my clients, I would go, you need to go rent for a year, or you need to go rent for 2 years, because of what they needed to actually become lendable with a mortgage company. And it hit me one time. I'm like, man, I need to own the rental properties that I'm telling them to go rent. But I didn't know how to acquire those properties. And even if I would have figured it out, I wasn't sure how to acquire them I didn't have money in the bank. We lived paycheck to paycheck like a lot of families do. And, if the people that I know that don't live paycheck to paycheck, boy, they should have got into real estate way back when, because most of the wealthy people I know have some sort of real estate around them. But a person in my life came to me and they gave me the challenge and said, hey, I want to get into real estate. So I put on my gonna solve this problem hat and started going out there and looking for a solution for them. And let me tell you, I used to look at hundreds of credit reports a week. And I have seen anywhere from $50 to $100 to $150,000 where people have paid for those big seminars or real estate education to get into investing, and were never able to make it successful. And then I'm looking at the credit report, and asking them what happened. Oh, well, I bought this seminar and there was no support, and I got an 800 number and there was nothing there. And so I saw a lot of that. And then when someone came to me and said, I want to get into real estate, I started seeking out. Well, I happened to know one of the instructors that taught for our education, because he's the credit instructor, and said, tell me what you know about real estate. What do you have about real estate? I have someone that's trying to get into real estate. So he sent me a couple of recordings of what we call our briefing and intro and follow-up. That's kind of the way that the sales side of our business goes, because like Janai said, we are one of the only companies that has a product that you make money selling the product, but you also make money using the product. So in using our education, that's how we invest in real estate, but they do allow us to market the education while we're learning how to use the product so that we can earn money. So that was a great opportunity for me. And I was one of those, I was like, nope, I'm looking for an answer to solve this person's problem. And they were not interested in investing. But what I had watched, I was like, why am I not gaining that knowledge for me and to help my clients even more? Because it was all this financial classes and the tax and legal that Janai mentions. I I heard our instructor, and at the time, I didn't even realize that he was an instructor for our education. I saw him at a credit event. He was hired and paid to come in to give us a speech. And for in an hour and a half, I personally saved $4,000 in my business because not only did I not know what I didn't know, but the business professionals around me didn't know what they didn't know. And so when I decided to implement and put this education into my life, one of the most valuable assets that it gives me is making sure that the business professionals around me, because real estate is a team sport, but it's a team sport as long as your team knows what they're doing. So, like our tax and legal classes, it's not teaching me how to do tax and legal. It's teaching me how to find the right tax and legal professional to make sure that I keep as much of the money that I'm making, especially focused when I'm making it in real estate, to keep that money for me. And what, like Janai said, that is actually it's two of the classes because we have 2 full days training. It's about 16 hours of tax and legal. And that doesn't sound like fun, but believe me, this instructor is a blast. So he makes that stuff fun. What did you say?
He splits it up into 4 classes though. So 4 and 4 for the study group. Tell her about the study group too.
Yeah. So, but I wanted her to kind of see that's kind of how I got wrapped in with this. So, you know, I still have my other businesses, but I've been able to invest in real estate through this. And you know how I told you when I was working for him, I didn't know how I could invest in real estate. So it's right before COVID hit. Well, I'll tell you, I actually purchased my education 4 years ago. And 2.5 years ago, I got a divorce and I lost everything. So, but since then, I've been able to creatively acquire all the properties that I had. And since that, in that time, I've acquired 6 properties. So most of them with 0 money out of pocket.
Wow.
And 4 of them I have at 0% interest. And I learned a lot of that through our classes, whether it be the negotiations or the creative acquisitions, and just implement the things that I'm learning from the education into my life. But I'll tell you, I've been a business owner for 28 years. Some of the classes and the financial stuff that I've learned has helped me just in everyday life and other business avenues as well, beyond just the real estate. So completely beneficial. But now I'm going to get back and answer your question. But that way you kind of see a little bit about why is Janai so excited about it and where my heart comes from. Also was very worried for people because of some of the steps that she was trying to get people to go out and just do it when they weren't educated, because I come from that side of seeing how harmful real estate can be to people if you're doing it uneducated. So I was like, I'm just going to lock arms with people and help guide them in the right direction. So that's where this Monday comes from. So we get on here every week, and typically we don't really do a salesy thing this week. That's why I was smiling, because I'm like, Janai got excited. This one is really work through problems and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't know. To be honest with you, I didn't know it was a sales thing. I thought it was going to be an informational thing.
Yeah. Well, we typically talk about what did you do this week? What are your challenges and overcome challenges? So we'll hang out a little bit longer to get through some of that. But to answer,
it's part of my journey. See, you know, it's part of who I am. And I'm 60. I just turned 60 at the beginning of the month. And I raised 4 children as a single mom. And now it's all about me. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that $2,000 for an education, because that's something no one can ever take away from me and I can use in a myriad of ways, is an investment in myself. Like, you know, just like pedicures or highlights, you know, we have to invest in ourselves. But I think education is just a little bit more serious.
It is.
And then it's a field that I really enjoy. I'm a realtor already. And I think it'd be a good idea if we looked at the Ray Nadas page so she can see what it's all about and go to the calendar and see some of the classes.
Sure, absolutely. I can.
You think that's a good idea?
If you want to do that, we can. We are getting short on time. But we can
screen
hook
share
her
for a
up.
couple of minutes.
Yeah, I can do that. And I'm going to answer the question real quickly as well. I don't think I'm logged in, so it'll take me a second. So the support that is out there is on Monday nights. We do this call, and this call is really just Janai, the people Janai has connected me with. I do really just for her, and I promise you, I'm going to take some extra time with you, Lorraine, and you can give me a challenge and I'll help you overcome it. So, and then, so that's not part of your Renatus education. But I come along because Janai is on my team. We kind of link arms. And so Monday nights, Janai and I do this call from 8:30. Well, I'm in Central Time. So it's 8:30 to 9 o'clock Central Time. So that is what time for you, Janai? Whatever time.
We're 5:30 to 6.
And then at 6 o'clock your time, what happens every Monday night is we have our corporate office does a study group for our essentials. So the classes that Janai was talking about, that $2,000 grouping, we do a study group. And tonight is the last night for the current session that's going through. Those 10 classes, they break it down to where you watch 4 hours of class or half the class. They tell you what segments to watch. And then you get online and you get to listen to kind of the breakthrough so that everybody's taking the same things at the same time. I'll tell you, I've taken some of these classes 8-10 times and I get more information out of them each time. So you can take them over and over and over again. You don't have to just take them once.
And you can take them with you.
Yeah, and you can take them with you. These are the essentials. The classes that are in the essentials, there's self-directed IRA, negotiations, creative acquisitions. There's the 2 days of tax and legal, understanding credit, velocity banking. And I thought I was crazy when people were like, you got to do velocity banking. And like I said, I came from that financial world, right? So like I watched this class 7 times because I was like, it's math. And that class taught me how to pay my 30-year mortgage off in 4.5 years.
Oh, wow.
So that one class alone saved me way more than the cost of these classes. The real estate foundations class was a class that once I took it, I started calling and, doing the little tasks that it tells you to do. And I was calling realtors because I was looking for things out of town. And I think I got like 6 job offers because they were like, oh my gosh, you really know what you're talking about, because it goes through terms and a lot of things that would benefit you even in your real estate as an agent. Our Launch to Success talks about some of the other programs we have, and then Deal of the Decade and Real Estate Red Flags, because we don't want to make the mistakes, right? So it's better to let someone else make those costly mistakes and learn from them. That's what the Red Flags does. So it really talks you through how to avoid making those costly mistakes. Those classes are lifetime access. So if they change the tax laws, and they will re-record the class and upload it. So I don't know about you, but I got kids. I've got a son, he's 30 years old. I sent him to college. But if they change something or something is new technology comes out. We were talking about this just yesterday because my mom has a friend and his grandson is taking computer science. It's not the same as it was 20, 30 years ago, computer science is. But if he wanted to learn the new stuff, he'd have to pay for that. And Renatus doesn't do that. As things get updated or new things come out, they put the new class in and it doesn't cost us anymore. So new tax laws come out, they re-record the class and put it back in there for us. Each one of the classes, let's see, I'll go into negotiations because that's the class that study group is going on here in just a little bit. So they're all segmented out so that you can watch them. And if you notice, you can see like this one's 10 minutes for that segment, 7 minutes for here. And as you watch it, it actually tracks your progress as you go through. Now, I have watched this class, but they updated the computer software, and we used to be in 2 systems, and this is the new system. And it also doesn't track if you download it. So we can download and take it with you on the go, but then it doesn't track your progress. And I'm like, I need to watch that now, because now people are going to go, you haven't listened to that one. And each one of the classes has a workbook, and a lot of the workbooks are about 150 pages. And we win awards for the quality of the workbooks that are out there. So they're just mind blown, the level of quality of the education. There's some really great, I'm just going to pop into this class, and let's just say that I was midway through the class and listening to it. And I don't think I did a screen share with sound, so you might not be able to hear it.
If I don't throw in a few more bucks, or if I don't come to a little bit better terms,
I can hear it.
Agreement,
you can hear it.
Lose this deal, and
you can take notes.
Pretty significant. So
while the class is going on,
it's not always about getting the best price or the best terms. Sometimes it's just about the acquisition and making sure you secure it, because it's going to bring you greater rewards in the future.
So I can add the notes in the class and then go back and read my notes later. And I can literally just pull up my notes section. And then if I'm like, oh yeah, when was this that I put this? I can literally click on it and it'll take me right back to that part of the video. So it's a great way to be interactive with as you're taking your classes. So that, I don't know, I'm a note taker and I take notes all the time, but then I never can go back and reference it. So it allows us to do that. It also allows us to create action steps. Like if one of the classes is like, go out and investigate this or go look at it, you can create action steps that'll all pop on your dashboard. So it really has some great tracking systems with it as well. So calendars, that's what you wanted me to show her, right? Is the calendar. So we have small offices across the country, and we have some large offices in the country too. So we have different groups that are everywhere. With COVID, a lot of it went online. So anything that's on our calendar, typically you can watch. There's things that are on there that are happening, either local, recorded, different kinds of meetings that are out there. Of the presentation for Velocity Banking. There's
deal or no deal.
Yeah, there's deal or no deal.
That's dissecting deals, actual deals.
Yeah, they're going through deals. And we do have like an overview. We've kind of talked a lot about it tonight of what you would see in like the overview, but it breaks down, shows you all the classes, because we just showed you like the initial 10. There's actually over, boy, you know, Bob's releasing more classes. I think the last count was like 68. I'm not sure exactly how many there are at this moment, because we have a profit segment as well, and which are all just business classes, not even real estate related. So I bought my profits last year, and they're adding, I think, 9 classes to profits this year, and they're not charging me a single penny for each one. And some of those instructors actually do classes for other companies as well, and they charge $3,000 to $5,000 for per class that we get added back. I'll be honest with you, when I bought my education, I did it I wanted to just learn how to invest in real estate. I didn't want to sell it, but I had someone come to me and say, you are being selfish if you don't start sharing that knowledge. And I was like, yeah, I am, you know, because I've saved so much money just from the not being able to implement some of that into my life. So I should definitely start sharing.
Well, I definitely like to. I mean, I'm you know, I'm in real estate and I'm wholesaling, but I mean, I would love to be able to invest in my own for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
remember, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
I know, that's true.
You're networking, that was huge for me. I've already found a community that I feel like a family, you know, friends and family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool about Renatus as well. I fit in.